Good day. Good day. Good day. Good day. Good day, everybody. Good day. I saw, who's the one that plays Bart Simpson? Nancy Cartwright. Sorry, this is how she makes that noise for the little girl, Maggie. It takes practice, but one thing. And so these are some other things. Like when you're doing voiceover, you got kind of like a head voice. Head voice, you can come up really high up here, and then you go a little bit lower down into your throat. And then you get really low when you come down into your chest, and even lower when you get down to your belly. And it's really fun to make up all kinds of different voices and experiment with everything, because you never know when they're looking for a character, but you also don't want to hurt your throat when you do it. And some people can go really high like this, and I'm not faking it, it's just really, really high head voice. Do you remember the Piccolo in, most people probably wouldn't remember this, but H.R. Pufnstuf? Jimmy, it's really high up here. He goes, oh, Jimmy. Jimmy was the flute was the guy that was just talking. Jimmy was his friend, whatever. Anyway, I'm trying to make fun and play, and sometimes this is the best way. And you have to use your body, too, when you're doing characters. I've learned a lot from guys like Mark Grau and all kinds of other coaches out there about doing characters. Because one thing is that voiceover is not just funny voices, right? You have to be able to act. You have to take some acting classes. And you have to be able to realize who you're talking to, what happened right before, who's the audience, what's the backstory, who is your character, and try to make it as believable as possible. Everything from what room you're in, the smells, what you look like. That's why when you get a brief, when you see what they have in mind for the character, then it's much more helpful. But if you don't get that, you've got to use your imagination and come up with something. What does that person wear? You have to get inside the person, the character. How do they think? How do they feel? Why do they feel that way? And then what's the situation? What happened immediately before the situation that you're in? What is your objective, your intention? What do you want out of the scene? Right? It's not just go ahead and make up a funny voice. Let's see what other things. There's a thing in here.
Who's it when they talk like this? What's that guy's name? And you're squeezing together the things in your throat. That's kind of hard to do if you do it for a really long time.
And then you breathe from your diaphragm. You don't from your chest. That's stomach. Because where does a voice come from? It comes from the air vibrating through your vocal folds or vocal cords. That's the air. So when we speak, it's actually these things vibrating super fast from the air. And isn't that cool? It comes from our brain. We're thinking, what am I going to say? And then we say something, and we have a language, and out comes words. It's magical. Well, I don't know. There's all kinds of different funny things you can do and sound like with your voice, right? And then you can get really down and mean. And then there's accents. I like to do this one sometimes when I'm playing a soccer announcer or football, as you will have it in the United Kingdom and most countries of the world. They call it football. But it's really soccer in North America. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Whew, I'm getting tired. No, I'm not really getting tired, but this is fun. It's fun to share these things with you. Anyway, I'm going to get to work right now. I have a few jobs I have to record. I just thought I would share this. Holy cow, it's been 7 minutes already. Who's going to watch 7 minutes? Anyway, have a great day.